really just recognizing that we are human. And the value of being human means that we are powerful individuals. Our word matters. Words are powerful. What you say to someone, our facial expression, the smile you have on your face when you walk past somebody at the grocery store. People are starving for humanity interactions, for human interaction. Do not hesitate.
Welcome back to Allow Yourself, when we hold a space to reconnect with our core and gently explore what it means to be fully ourselves. Today, I am truly honored to introduce a very special guest, Maureen Palmer. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Beatriz. So nice to be here and so nice to see you.
Yes. Maureen, I want to tell you who Maureen is, because Maureen is a passionate and experienced leader in the health, wellness, and fitness world with a strong background in occupational therapy. And she brings decades of hands-on experience supporting individuals with sensory integration needs, autism spectrum disorders, and development disabilities. With a Master of Science in Occupational Therapy from Eastern Michigan University, Maureen has not only built a successful career, but has made a meaningful impact on the lives of countless families, children, and clients through her clinical work and entrepreneurial spirit. But beyond the impressive credentials, what truly stands out about Maureen is her heart, her deep commitment to help people find connection, regulation, and balance in both body and mind. So, whether you're a parent, a caregiver, a professional, or simply someone navigating your own sensory world, this conversation will offer insight, compassion, and tools to help reconnect with yourself and others. And oh, Maureen, I'm so grateful to have you here. Welcome to Allow Yourself.
Oh, Beatrice, thank you for inviting me. And I just love this concept of your podcast. This is such a foundational, necessary tool in today's world for people to help get grounded and self-respect, self-awareness. We don't take the time. This is such a busy time in life where there's so much is thrown at us. So I'm thankful for your effort towards producing this podcast. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. We usually think that our limitations are out there, but that we cannot reach this because we don't have enough money. We cannot we cannot do anything else because we don't have time. We have to work. But really and truly, this is what the podcast is about. Is you are what you allow yourself to be. Because if you are motivated enough to do something, you will find the time, you will find the money, you will find the space to do it. So the real limitations that we have is the ones that we have ourselves. And I know you're working in a very nice project like right now to allow yourself to be safe. And we are going to talk about all the allow ourselves that will lead you there, because safe is a sensation, but it's also something that is physical too, not only mindfulness, right? So I will start with a question. If you allow yourself to look back, what conclusions, what can you get to where you are today?
That is a very wonderful and profound question. And I'm so happy to be able to sit here today and answer this question. in my past, I've experienced God walking with me, but it's only become more, I've become more aware of it now in my older years than I did at the time. However, God has always been present in my life, but the journey along the way was comforting, knowing that God was available, and um, I knew when to ask for help. And I also knew that God had given me some gifts. And when I was very young, I think I was 2 years old, I jumped from a top of a 12-step stairwell. And I remember the feeling of floating down as if angels were carrying me down. And so from a very young age, I had that experience of something beyond me, but within me as well. So that protection has been there, and the confidence and the comfort has just been part of me. Um, One of the gifts that I have experienced over the years started with my aunt and uncles having, they lived on farms and working with small animals. And I just, when a sow has 33 piglets at a time, she typically sits on the last couple that are born, and they end up kind of crushed. And so my uncle used to put them on the feeder trough to pass away in the sun. And I would grab them and take them and try to work with them. And in a few days, they might have run around. And I don't really know what happened after that because I didn't stay there, but I did stay there in the summertime, maybe a couple weeks each summer. So it's the desire to problem solve an issue and go inside and see the clock working inside of what can I do to make that life better. And I've seen the process and the outcome. So it just gave me an early identity of wanting to help.
And how does that bring it today for to what you do? So you're helping others so you can connect yourself from the back. That's what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. That looking back, you can see all the dots that connect to your present, that you can help people and just have a very strong purpose of being yourself, reconnect yourself to be in service for others. Is that correct?
Oh, that is so correct. I wanted to be a veterinarian, but my mother read from the University of Wisconsin the brochure on occupational therapy. And she said, Maureen, I think you'd be a perfect match for becoming an occupational therapist because having been from farms herself, her family was in farming. She didn't want me working with big bulls and big animals. So she shrunk me down to working with humans, and that was just the best moment, that turning point of not animals but humans. And then I just totally threw myself into that. So occupational therapy has a wonderful philosophy of treating the whole person, and the medical model has always fragmented person. But I felt that the benefit of occupational therapy fit me because I wanted to treat all, including that spiritual realm. And so that has been the foundation of who I became as a caregiver of many ages, newborns to geriatrics to seniors. It never mattered who it was or what condition they had. There was something humanly necessary in the interaction between myself and my clients, no matter who they were, what their economic background, what their race or beliefs were. It never mattered because I love people so much.
Oh, that's beautiful. And we are very spiritual. You and myself too. But even Steve Jobs said that we can understand what's happening to us in life only looking back. When you are able to connect the dots, you cannot connect the dots forward. You can only understand your life when you look back and start connecting the dots that you have been building yourself to what you are today. And sometimes we have no idea why am I doing this, no? Is just to allow ourselves to be, to experience, to connect, to, okay, I don't know what I'm doing this, but I like it. It's passionate. It's how why change from animals to humans? I don't know. I allow myself. It does connect with me, even that I dream to be a veterinarian. That change of field usually bring us a lot of comfort after when we are in a later age in life. So what challenge have you experienced or setback to that has shaped you the most? And what did you learn from it?
Oh, Beatrice, you have no idea what a perfect question that is for me. Um, in academia, I had trouble with reading comprehension my whole life. And I used to stay after school. I used to clean the erasers. I used to walk the halls of the school just to try to absorb what is it that exists in this facility, in this school, that I just haven't grasped. Like I was really searching for what am I missing? I walk into the classroom and my classmates are putting projects on the teacher's desk or handing in papers. And it's like, how did you know to do that? So, where did that come from? How did you know? Because I seem to miss so much in the classroom. And yet I was such an eager learner that I just kept searching and searching for what am I missing here? And it seemed like everybody around me was so smart. And we had grades of reading books that got harder and harder and harder. And I kept wanting to be in the gold section of books because that's where so many of my classmates were. I had wonderful classmates in grade school and high school. And we all kind of stayed together through grade school, middle school, and high school. But so they knew me, but they knew me more as an athletic child, not an academic. And so I felt stupid my whole life until I was 46. And as a therapist, I worked best with the children who had learning issues because I was one. And so identifying with them and being compassionate, like I could say to them, I had problems when I was young too, and this is what I needed. And so I'm so happy to be here with you to just love you for who you are and see what I can help you with. That became the essence of victories within my career, is just melding with that person. Just what's it like looking through those lenses? What's it like when that hand doesn't hold the pencil properly? Like just melding with the person has just brought me so much joy, really joy.
It's so accurate because we as children and also as an adult will to compare ourselves to others, like oh, I cannot do it. Why are they so smart and I'm so stupid? No, it's that comparison that usually when we compare ourselves, it only brings grief if we take it that way, no? And it takes us as a challenge when we want to grow, like you're saying. I want to be like them, so I feel stupid. So what are they doing to be so smart and get those ideas? But you even without paying attention, flip your script. I call it like that. No, my book is called Flip It Over. So I just flips that. No, you flip oh, they're so smart, I'm so stupid. Like, oh, what do I need to do to be like them? How can I help them? And that's what you do now. How that's your connecting the dots, how it took you to there. To one small thing that make you feel bad because you thought you're stupid, although you're not. It was this fact that brought you to grow and be today to show them you are complete, you are enough, you just have different ways of learning, different ways of seeing things. So each one of us has its own path, right? But you allow yourself to be stupid at that time, right? To call in
Mhm.
order to come today to say, okay, I'll use that. I don't like that feeling. I want to help people not to feel that way because it's not it's not a very nice way. I can tell you that in my experience, I felt excluded because I asked a lot of questions, very uncomfortable questions. I was the making problem child too. So when I grew up, I saw it like my gift. My gift is asking questions. So it's like, how can I help others not to feel excluded? That even when I go to a big party and I see people in the corner, I just come to them, just bring them in, not to feel excluded. So those are the small things that we think are small, but at the end of the process is quite huge. So that is really beautiful. So if fear and limitations disappeared from your life, what do you give yourself permission to do?
Well, that actually is the next phase of what happened when I was 46 and I used an intervention, the interactive metronome, to change my reading comprehension issue. It totally disappeared when I used this brain-based, computer-based program with myself first and then with the children. It had the capacity to improve a child or myself's grade level, like 2.5 grade levels improvement. And so what was behind my problem was my right eye was faster than my left eye. So when I read, it was like ratchet, ratchet, ratchet. I had to keep
Mm,
coming back with my right eye to capture where my left eye was lagging behind. And the interactive metronome corrected that so that both eyes now team exactly at the same speed. And all of a sudden, I'm reading something and now I get pictures in my head. Before, I got no pictures. The blue
wow.
ball behind the picket fence. And then the next day, the test was what color was the ball? And I had no idea because I hadn't processed the picture of what I was reading. So I understood what reading comprehension was all of a sudden compared to what I had lived my whole life understanding. So, anyway, as a result, I ended up going back to grad school. And I never
Wow.
would have gone to grad school because I was intimidated by the amount of reading and the intellectual property that I would be up against. And so the breaking of the confidence issue and the breaking of the academic fallback disappeared because God answered a prayer of mine. And I prayed that prayer when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Lord, please heal my left eye. And it was all these years, but he waited until I understood what the original problem was. It was a timing problem. And the only reason I could figure that out would be because I was doing the metronome, which is a bell that rings and you clap on the bell, on the bell, on the bell, and you're listening on headphones. It's activating both hemispheres at the exact same time, which then triggered my speed of my eyeballs. So I'm just saying that it has been such an exciting time to recognize and connect the dots and learn what gifts we've been given over time if we can take the moment to reflect, like you're saying, and flip it into, oh my gosh, look at the shoes I have on my feet. Look at the roof I have over my head. Look at the food that I have to eat and the water and the air to breathe. And my next breath is a gift. And so it's having an appreciation of who we are made by and how we are made and the preciousness of us, which I think is being lost today in just just the way things are going. we cannot forget who we are, who made us, and who we are likened to. And the gifts that we have are so personal that we can't possibly look like the movie stars. We can't possibly act like Queen Elizabeth. Like we are such an important individual, and we stand in our spot in history. Like I look at my home and I say, God gave me this place to live on the whole face of the earth. He gifted me with this home. Like I think about things like that. And also in the morning, I say, okay, Jesus, what flavor coffee would you like today? Or, okay, Jesus, when's the last time you drove a Traverse on the road? And so I invite that relationship and that closeness in to every moment of my life. And that's where I feel the connectedness, not only from the past, and the best moment of is the present, of course, but I see that I just need to be at peace with that. Like enjoy the moment. Don't be so stressed out.
Yes, and it's a very interesting point what you're saying, because in this time that we're living, we are bombarded to be fearful, to be in fear all the time. So we don't do things because of fear, and fear is a huge, huge limitation. And right now they are bombarding us. At least that's in my opinion, with not feeling safe anywhere. Okay, so we're not safe at work, we're not safe in the university, we're not even safe at home. So that's really a sensation that when we are in gratitude, like you're saying, and we are connected to a higher power, call it Jesus, call it Mahoma, call it Buddha, call it whoever is your higher power, you have it inside. So you really can connect and feel safe that you're not by yourself. But that you are always, like you said, you felt the angels that carried you when you, especially when we feel um, hopeless or when we feel weak. But it's also, as you say, to be grateful for what we already have. That it's in psychology, as you know, and we see it as a whole, is the antidote of the cortisol, right? It's oxytocin is the what the gratitude really brings us to the present time, to be with ourselves, and to take fear out of our formula, let's say it. But how can we, what do we do? Because I know you work with this a lot, and feel safe to do, to arrange things in our house or to arrange things in our surroundings that we can feel safe. I can tell you that when I graduated in behavioral science, I studied in Israel in the south, in the Ben Gurion University. My first job after was to help people retire, to prepare people mentally how to retire. So, how to look this safe house near a pharmacy, near a hospital, that you can have bus stations near, that you have friends, that your house, your doors are big enough so a wheelchair can come through. Because there are so many things that we don't pay attention, that we think we're safe, but we can make ourselves in a space that is safe for us, even if we don't think about it.
Oh, that's so true, Beatrice. That's so wise. And you're right, we don't pay attention to those things. So were you able to find your palace?
Yes, I used to help people to do that. I had a book that it's called Preparing to the Third Age. So it's like I was 20 something at that time. And I learned so much, because you heal yourself when you help healing. And I was surrounded with a lot of people that help others to feel safe in that. And look how connecting the dots in my life. Before I start really working in Flip It Over, and allowing yourself. I was an entrepreneur for 30 years in a security company. So I sold padlocks and locks and safe products to help people feel safe, closing doors. And the life took me all the way to help people feel safe, believing and in faith and open hearts and minds. So it's the two sides of the same coin, one with products closing and the other opening with faith. So I know you're doing the same work right now that you did it in the occupational therapy, as you said, to see the person as a whole and not fragmented. That is so important to people to hear, to see yourself as a whole. Don't take one step or one field of your life only to evaluate you, because you say, oh, I have heard this, that you are not a successful person because financially you're not successful, but you're successful having enough time and helping people. You're successful spiritually, or you are very successful having a lot of friends. You cannot just take one. You have to see yourself, your life as a whole. So tell us a little bit what you allow yourself now to feel safe, helping others to feel safe too. Tell us what you're doing. What's your summit about, and what you're doing right now with your therapy?
Sure. I have, what I'm doing is leaving a legacy of things that I've learned over the years. And there actually are many different areas that I am planning. Like I just finished a book on autism for parents raising kids with autism. And I know that percentage of kids with autism is rising quickly around the globe. And so that book is there. And then this is home safety. So over the years, I've been doing home evaluations, and I don't, there were tools and then there weren't tools that would help me assess. And so I created a tool called the Palmer Functional Home Self-Assessment for people either to give to their parents to see what aging has happened, what's happened to them physically or mentally, what's happened to them over the years that I haven't lived at home, and I just come to visit now and then, but I'm very concerned about my parents. So this is a tool that I offer with the summit for people to be able to self-assess if they're seniors and they know that something has happened, and they want to self-assess. Or I also prepared a free roadmap of checking out your home. And do you still have carpeting? Do you still have a nail that's sticking up in the floorboard that you didn't used to trip over, but as you get older, it's possible that you could trip, or somebody visiting your home could trip, or now you need handrails on your front porch where you didn't have, you had steps and they were wide and they were wonderful, but all of a sudden you don't have anything to hang on to carrying your groceries in now from the car, into your home. So most of the falls happen in bathrooms, and I was a perfect example. I was in a car accident and I broke my wrist, and I got into a deep bathtub to kind of soak, not my wrist, but just to relax, and because I had been in so much pain. I couldn't get out of the tub. I couldn't get up on all fours to get the leverage to get out of the tub. And so here I was, an expert in this field of home safety and aging in place, and I didn't even have my home ready for the unexpected, and so I was a perfect example. And so I put together this checklist that then led to inviting expert guest speakers to the summit. And so that's what's happening is we're launching our home safety summit. It's called Your Home Safety Summit. And the link is going to be available for people to sign up on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and in social media. And you'll be able to sign up. So I'm so thankful that you brought that up so I could mention it today, because the speakers that we have are, the latest senior technology to have in your home that connects you with your family who doesn't maybe live in the same city. The best grab bars that I've ever seen. I don't like putting institutional looking grab bars in homes that are so modernized that you don't want to scale them down by making them look like a hospital, bathroom. So one of the experts, Becky Wright, she has a company she works with a company, and she's out of Wisconsin, that has the most beautiful grab bars, but they look like towel bars. And so you can decorate them with towels or, anything, but they blend in with the modern designs that people are placing into their even new homes. And so it increases the value and increases the safety. And so I needed to put them in because I couldn't even use my toilet properly. It was a danger zone now. And so was my bathtub, and so was my shower, because of when I closed my eyes, my balance was off even. And so all I'm saying is these things came to me having walked the walk. This is my journey. I turned that accident into something so powerful. Again, as I'm trying to leave a legacy, it came to the surface that I needed to leave this part of the legacy as well. And so I joined other experts in this field of aging in place. There are a group on LinkedIn that we have sort of solidified with each other to get the word out.
That's beautiful, but I will go further from you, because as I worked very young with programming and helping people retire, we think that only to senior people can happen things. And since then, I built my house when I was 30 years old. Every single bathroom has a handrail on the shower and on the top. And and
Beautiful.
and the rails in every single step, because we have children too, and they also have the same. We can sleep also. When I go to a hotel, I pay attention when I go into the shower. Okay, now I am senior. I'm 63 right now, but even when I was much younger, I went into the shower and said, if I sleep, where do I hang? Where do I hang? Make it conscious on me to be aware. If something happens, is there a curtain? Is there a hand? Where do I? And there is none. Sometimes you have to grab from the curtain or from the same, how do you call it, faucet, because you're in danger. And a lot of
a soap dish hanging inserted into the wall, a soap dish with a handle.
Yeah, so
they
there
come
is
right out.
very sharp corners, for example. That's something that I was really also very aware to take out all the sharp corners in the house. You sleep and boom, you just with a glass, with a table, with a chair, and some small things. Yes, you say I agree with you. Is much needed when you're senior, because your balance is not as good, but it can happen to you for youngers too. So, youngers that buy the book and enter to the summit to help parents, do it to yourself too. That's my advice, because
Oh, that's wonderful.
we don't know what can happen. When you are dizzy, or you get a blackout, or you just slip, or you just step away, you say a nail or something in the floor. And rugs that today are so fashioned, the individual rugs, it's very easy to fall into it. So that's such an important thing to get to occupational therapy, right? Is
Very much so.
it's prevention. So I really congratulate you to that you're doing this is so needed in the world, that awareness that yes, we can feel safe, but are we really safe? Can we improve, enhance with some details our house, our life, our way of behaving, how we enter the car, how we come out of the car, small things that really can um, change our lives for better. So
So true.
just
I,
to
I want to add, if is there
yes,
time to add
yes,
something?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, today, so many people are working from home, especially since COVID. People work in their home. And so then who comes to babysit but the grandparents? And so that's why so many need to pay attention to what's happening in their own home. And like if they want to have Thanksgiving, and they invite Aunt Susie. Well, Aunt Susie is now on a walker, or Grandma so and so now is in a wheelchair. Are they ready to bring those family members to the table to celebrate a feast or a holiday? So anyway, and then the children, like you could trip over one of your child's toys and break a hip. You don't have to be old. And so try getting off the toilet with a broken hip before your surgery is scheduled. And then when you come home from surgery, is your home prepared? So why not, with less stress, get these things taken care of and put in place? Because once you add the pain and the stress and the time delay that it takes to get a carpenter out to your home, it seems like forever. And so it's worth the money, which is not that costly, to put some of these aids in, these safety devices. It's just very wise, and it could save your health. It could save time in the hospital. It could save
A lot of money too. Just so
a
if you
lot of money.
if you
Yeah,
spend a little bit, if you spend $50 in a handrail, can save you from $5,000 of surgery afterwards. So
that is
it's
so true.
it's it's worth the investment. So I invite everyone really to get to the link, to go to the roadmap and check your house and whatever you need to do in your house to do. So Maureen is an specialist as expert occupational therapy with a lot of experience. And Maureen, just to wrap up, if you could leave one message for everyone listening, what would you invite them to allow yourself to do or to be?
Really just recognizing that we are human, and the value of being human means that we are powerful individuals. And we let small things chip away at the power that we've been given. We are powerful individuals. Our word matters. Words are powerful. What you say to someone, our facial expression, the smile you have on your face when you walk past somebody at the grocery store. People are starving for humanity interactions, for human interaction. Do not hesitate. Like just the other day, I was driving down a 2-lane road, and all of us were stopped at a stop sign. And I noticed a lady in the next car next to me, and her elbow was hanging out the window. And what I did was roll down my window and said, "Hey, God bless you today." And she said, I mean, she just like lit up like a firecracker. And she said, "Thank you so much. I needed that. And that's why I say I think people are waiting for some sign of happiness and joy. Don't hesitate to help somebody. And those YouTube videos of people helping an animal or people helping another individual. I mean, I just love watching people interact, there's such power. And don't you feel great watching it? And sometimes you watch it over and over and over again just to see the love and the humanity that is shared at that moment instead of somebody walking by. And so I just implore everyone that we can one-on-one in our own place walk through our day, bringing that kind of help and love and power into your life. Every day you can do that. And it's the little things, it's not the big things, it's the little things that is the glue, I believe. So is that good for
That's
a
amazing.
final thought?
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. I support you. Even adding to what you said, or saying in another way, the invitation to connect to others, that when you don't know what a smile does, you don't know what a good morning does, you don't know what the other person is needing, just to be seen, right? Just to be seen, to say hello, it's hello, I'm seeing you. That's what really we are saying. It and as we both work with people, we know how much it comes back to us when we help healing or just connect with others. So it's like saying it, in a saying that I say always in Spanish, that we really heal when we are helping others healing. We really connect to our core when we connect with others. A smile, a gaze, a hug, one word, whatever. So beautiful, Maureen. Beautiful that you brought that up to the allow yourself. Podcast, although is you are what you allow yourself to be. That's all. So
So
thank you
beautiful.
very much, Maureen. Anything else you would like to say before we say goodbye?
Um, I do want to say that where I get the strength every day is I just spend time being. And I have some special music that I'll put on. I just wait because more happens when you pray or meditate than what you see. And you are just, it's like the heavens open up and they just wait on us to recognize there's a spiritual life beyond our physical,
Mm-hmm.
earthly, human being. There is this other life. And I used to help people in wheelchairs close their eyes, and then we imagined life above the wheelchair. And occupying that space for 45 minutes was life changing for many of them who were so depressed, who felt like life had been taken from them. And all of a sudden, the freedom to like dream or meditate or picture oneself above and go into that spiritual realm. They didn't have a wheelchair in that spiritual realm. They danced in that spiritual realm. We put the music on, and it's so freeing. And so your work in doing this is just the camaraderie of what we've been given and a voice to speak it is so powerful that I'm just tingling all over.
I think thank you, thank you. It's like I say in chapter 11 of my book. What's the story you're telling yourself? Imagination and your mind can do marvelous things when you allow yourself to connect to that spiritual realm that you have. So thank you, Maureen. It was just such a good, an amazing pleasure to have you in my program, and I hope all the audience will take a lot of lessons, that even we are in a conversation, a lot of juicy, uh, juicy ideas came up. So
Thank you, Beatrice.
thank you, and see you next time.
Okay, thank you. God bless.